Some of you guys left questions already. I'll try to answer the guys who I know have joined and get to those questions. Jacob L just joined up, so we can start with that one. I know who else? James Matson, you asked a question I'll get to. So if you guys got questions, just leave them. Hopefully we'll get to everyone. Just spend 20 minutes, half hour here. But if you guys got questions about the program, if you have questions about what to expect next, or any specific football questions, let's answer all those now. So anyway, what leverages and type coverage? Yo, Adam Anderson, hit me right after this. Let's talk on the phone right after this. My fault, I missed your call earlier, but I will call you right when this is done. What leverages and type of coverage is a hezzy release best for? Is it bad for press? No, it's good versus press coverage. The hezzy release, it's just if he's real close and get hands on you right away, you're leaving yourself vulnerable with the hezzy, because it's not a very aggressive or powerful release, right? So if a guy can get hands on you right away, I don't suggest the hezzy, because again, it's kind of a soft, passive release where you're changing speeds, and an aggressive press coverage that can kind of screw you up. So to me, but anytime you have some space and he's got some, it's mirror press coverage where he's like a yard and a half off, that's when the hezzy is great. You slide him outside, make him come get you and react off, or slide him inside, make him come get you, change the speed. I always like to say on the hezzy, fast, slow, fast, right? Come off the ball fast, slow down, make him come get you, and then break off that fast. So Jake, hopefully that helps you. And that's what I got to say about the hezzy. James Matson, I know you're on, and you have some questions about... All right, so we kind of talked about this, James. I know you're on the previous Bean Talk, but we can talk about it here too. On a run play, should I just block the DB or just try to move him out of the way? I don't really understand the difference, but I'll reiterate what I talked about on the main Bean Talk a second ago. You should be taking defenders where they want to go. Okay, so take them in the direction they want to go. So if the defender comes and attacks you and wants to maintain, contain and set the edge and stay outside, then take his momentum outside and run him to the bleachers and just widen him. If he wants to dive inside right away and try and go attack the football, then take him inside and wash him down. You never have to muscle anybody, out-muscle anybody. Just move them in the direction you want to go, or they want to go, and use their momentum against them. All right, what else you guys got? J Day said, hold on, let me get to Japa real quick. How to adapt to DBs disguising their technique pre-snap, surprising us after the snap. Okay, so first of all, John, I don't know how much film you guys have, but at least from what I know, my experience, right, versus this stuff is I'm able to pick it up on film study, right? So everywhere I've always coached, we have a ton of film. We have 3-4 games to study on each opponent. So I can kind of look based on formation, based on alignment. Yes, I said fast, slow, fast. So on the hezzy, to go back to Japa's question, on the hezzy, right? Fast off the ball. So let's say I go 2 quicks, fast, slow, fast, right? And that kind of changing tempos is a good way to think about it. Fast, slow, fast is a good tempo change to think about on the hezzy release. Anytime you're changing speeds, anytime it's fast, that gets him in oh shit mode, that gets him running. Slow slows him down, and then fast again keeps him off balance. But anyway, to DBs who are disguising their technique pre-snap and surprising you after the snap, there are generally indicators for that. Like generally, you can look at the linebackers and look at the safeties and figure out if he wants to end up in outside leverage or inside leverage. There are tendencies that you can build up. So use your contact clues around that defender. But then always have 2 plans. Like once you know that a guy can switch things up, you just have to come up to the line with multiple plans. Okay, so that means you have to practice. You might have to practice thinking this way. You might have to do a drill where you get your boy to walk up and switch inside leverage to outside leverage, and you just have to react on the fly. It's no different than what running backs got to do when they're hitting a hole and they either have to cut it inside or cut it outside. Like you got to have a plan to release off an inside leverage player, release off an outside leverage player. And once you are kind of comfortable playing with 2 plans, like the guys who do that shit, man, they leave themselves real vulnerable. Like guys who want to bounce around and shift techniques, right before the snap, like all they got to do is take 1 misstep and you're gone. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that once you're comfortable playing with 2 plans in your head and you mentally can handle, coming up with 2 plans, and again, it starts with film study, right? You're not coming up with these plans on the fly. You've watched him on film and you say, okay, shit, I got a corner this week that's going to switch up inside leverage, outside leverage. He's going to change things right before the snap. You know you're getting that. So all week you're practicing with those two plans. You're watching his vulnerabilities and trying to figure out what are the best two releases to come to the line of scrimmage with. What are the things that are going to make this guy vulnerable? What are the things I can attack him? If he's inside leverage, what do I like? If he's outside leverage, what do I like? And you have reps at this, so it's not a guessing game. It's like a play. Right? It's like you rehearse the play, you rehearse the play, that once you do it in front of all the people, you hope that it's second nature. You've rehearsed it enough times that you kind of know what to expect, and there's very little screw-ups. It's no different in football. It should be rehearsed over and over. You should have an idea of what's coming based on your preparation. J-Day. How do you run a speed out when the DB or linebacker is playing outside leverage? So, I got that one. Hold on. Let me see. Maybe we can do this. Hold on right there. I'm going to see if I can find this video for you. I got that one Deshaun Jackson clip from early it was like from week 1. What up, Mark Finelli? Let me find this Deshaun Jackson. Here we go. All right, you guys ready? You're going to watch this real quick. So how to run an out versus outside leverage, okay? Here we go. So watch him attack his leverage outside, right? Attack his leverage outside. Attack his leverage outside. Stem it straight vertical to get him to flip inside and then snap it back out. Attack his leverage outside. Threaten his leverage. Stem it back inside to get him to flip his hips and then snap it back out. I'm going to show you a shorter version of this too, Andrew Hawkins. Attack his leverage. Snap vertical. Boom. Snap that out. Everyone see that? All right, so that's a good one. All right, yeah, here we go. And now here's Hawkins. Here's Hawk doing this in now the shorter stick version, right? Attack stem outside, snap vertical, back in outside. Okay, you attack his leverage first, then get him running inside, flip his hips, and be threatened inside. Boom, boom, and then break back out. And again, it's exactly what I was talking about, right? Getting that defender in oh shit mode. Hold on. You guys good? You see me? All right. Everyone got that? And once you attack his leverage, you've put him in oh shit mode. You've threatened him, so you've made him chase you. You've given yourself the advantage. So hopefully, J-Day, does that make sense? That video helped? Respond in the comments so I know. But like that's you attack his leverage first, then stem vertical, because once you attack his leverage, he's going to chase you. Now he's chasing you upfield. Boom. You use momentum against him, you can snap it back out. J-Day, hopefully that helped. Hopefully you're still watching. If not, then, cool, dope. What exactly is a square cut? Okay. A square cut is drop, break, line. So James, drop, sink your hips, break, line. Drop, break, line, square break, 90 degrees. A square is made of 90-degree angles. That's the definition of a square, right? If you end up with more than 90 degrees, it becomes a rhombus for our geometry majors in here. Okay, so a square break and not a rhombus break. A square break is a sharp 90-degree cut. Sorry, I'm being a little bit of a dick there, but it's funny. Let me show you. I got some film right here. And I'll bring this up. What up, T Savage? What up, Danny? We're talking about square breaks right now. We're talking about what exactly is a square break. I'm pulling up some film right now for us to go over. If I can find what I'm looking for. Here it is. Break points, square break. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, here's Leonte. Let's see what we got. Drop, break, line. So see how sharp that is right here? Drop, break, line. See that? So drop, he's sinking his hips, right? Sinking his hips right here. Drop, sink my hips, break, change direction, line, I come inside, right on a 90-degree angle, right on that 5-yard line. Okay? Ideal steps for square cut steps is this. So, guys, this break point right here has to be less than 10 yards. If you get deeper than 10 yards, you're not going to be able to get in this sharp. Okay? But within 10 yards, you drop in the direction you want to go. Drop, break, line, and you push inside and keep going. Okay? Let's look at another one. Here's me kind of demonstrating it. Okay? Break, line. You see this? drop, sink my hips and stop myself, break to change direction, line. See how I'm stepping out in front of myself with this line step? That's very important. Drop, break. If I step underneath myself, I'm not going to go anywhere, right? But if I step out in front, that means I'm gaining ground, and that's how I'm going to accelerate and gain separation. Okay? Drop, break, line. Drop, break, line. Here's Lee. I think it's that same thing. Here we go. Boom, boom, drop, break, line. All right, I'll show you guys one more. Here's my boy AJ. All right, so now here's verse press, right? Verse press, drop, break, line. See that? Get him running upfield. Drop, break, line. Boom, sharp, 90 degrees. We'll go win on that. Here's another one down in the red zone. Okay, here, watch. Drop, break, line. Steps a little bit underneath himself, but he's so sudden. He's so sudden with the drop break that he still wins, but he does step underneath himself a little bit here, right? But watch it. Push vertical, drop, break, line. Just get that line step out in front of you a little more, but not bad. All right, so hopefully that helps you guys. What other questions you guys have? It's kind of fun watching film with you guys. Maybe we should do this more. Purpose of beating the drums. Beating the drums is an outdated technique, James. Do not focus on beating the drums. Your hands should match your feet. Okay, so I'm running fast. My hands should be going and matching my feet. Okay, if I am wanting to stop, I should be using my hands to stop myself, not drumming violently. If I'm stopping my feet but pumping my arms rapidly, that's not matching them. Okay, so your body's not working in conjunction. Okay, if I'm trying to snap down, my arm should be snapping down. Bah, bah, snap down with your arms to stop yourself. Okay, so your arm should match your feet. Is it useful to focus on turning your toes in the direction you're cutting in? So that's a really good coaching point that I didn't just bring up on this square break. Let's go back real quick. Let's see if this one works. Let's see what this one's like. This is my boy Jawan. All right, look. Drop, break, line. So here's like he's adding the hip shift to it up top, right? So drop, break, line. All right, but a good here's actually Juju's is real good here. My fault. Hold on one sec. Drop, break, line. Drop, break, line. So here's what Jappa's question was, which is a really good one. Should I turn my toes in the direction I want to go? Yeah, so watch him turn his foot at a 45-degree angle. See how his toe is faced in there at a 45-degree angle? That's going to get you sharp. That toe right there, see how it's faced in at a 45-degree angle? That's a really great coaching point. Drop, break. That toe is facing in. That's going to get you flat on that line right away. Okay, so drop in. Drop, break, line, in. That's the really good example of a square break right here. Sink your hips. See how low he is? This guy's 6'6". All right, this guy Juju Wingate is 6'6". Watch how low he gets. Drop, break, line. Look how powerful that is. This is a fucking great example. Let me tell you. All right, you want to talk about a square break? This is a great fucking example right here. Drop, break. My toe is pointed inside, but the biggest thing is look at the explosion he's getting. Look at how much ground he's gaining off that break step. That's the momentum that's coming inside. Watch his full speed real quick. He's exploding inside there. It's pretty good shit. Pretty good stuff. What are the questions you guys got? I got more film for you I can pull up. Somebody asked, Joppa asked for hip mobility and flexibility drills. Matthew asked, will there be some press release drills coming soon? So we can talk about press releases tonight. But so what my plan is right now, let me pull this up and tell you guys my content plan. So right now I'm still getting through a few more evals. Okay. A lot of you guys I've sent evals to at this point. I'm still getting through a few more evaluations. That's my biggest focus. Let me pull up this content plan real quick. Where is this? WRU Patreon. All right. So the next few things that I want to create are, first I want to get to a basic breakpoint video, basically saying, here's the footwork for a 5-yard in. Here's the footwork for a 5-yard out. Here's the footwork for a 10-yard in, a 10-yard out, a 12-yard curl, a 14-yard comeback. I want to put a video together that gives you guys the specific footwork for every breakpoint, for every route. I think that's the next useful step for you guys. I gave you the weekly maintenance stuff. These are drills to keep your movements sharp and to keep your body positioning, body mechanics sharp. Really important. Right now I want to talk about the breakpoints. Right after the breakpoints, I want to talk about coverage recognition. Okay, so I want to go from breakpoints to coverage recognition because I think all you guys are asking for that. We got to start talking about the mental side a little bit. And then I want to get to releases. All right, to me, for whatever reason, I've always taught releases last. It's always been, I want you to have an overall understanding of how to run routes. I want you to have an overall understanding of coverage. And once you kind of understand all that, then you can figure out how to best use your releases. Okay, if you don't know what to do at the top of the route and how to set that up and how to get there, and you don't know how the coverage affects things, and your releases aren't going to be at their greatest capabilities. Okay, so I want to first talk about overall coverage. I want to first talk about what to do at the top of the route, and then the releases will be the last part. So that's our schedule. Okay, so again, just to reiterate, if you want to write this down, evaluations are coming out in the next week. They'll all be done. I've probably sent out 3/4 of them, maybe half. Okay, coverage or breakpoints are after that. Coverage is after that, then releases. What else? Any film on using this technique on a 10 to 12 yard dig, and man, what technique is that? Oh. So when we get to 10 to 12 yard dig, it's a little different. So let's talk about this. Pull up some film right quick, and we'll talk about this. So now, once you get to all right, so now once you get to a dig, okay, you got to add a step, and we're going to talk about this. So we were just talking about drop break. We were just talking about drop break line, okay? So now this is Leonte Carew, played for the Dolphins. Okay, so watch him. He's going to go drop break drive line. So he's going to go. It's a little bit harder to do on this one. Hold on. Drop. Not working. Drop break drive line. Why is it screwing up like this? Let's see if you guys can see it. You just got to add another rounding step here, okay? You got to add a little bit more of a rounding step. Okay, so here, drop break drive line. You see how he's taking one more step to kind of round the corner here because there's so much momentum, okay? Here, drop break drive line. All right, you don't have to get that next step directly underneath you and sharp right away because you have so much momentum at 14 yards. You can take an extra rounding step here. Okay, so boom, drop break drive line around the corner. Let's find another one. Let's see, it's my boy Jawan. Let's see what he looks like. All right, here's a good one. Ready? Drop, break, drive around the corner, line. I'm friendly right there. You're just adding one more rounding step because he's so deep. This is smooth as a bitch right here. Hold on, let me close this real quick. All right, this is good right here. Let's watch this. All right, here we go. Drop, break, drive line. You see how he's snapping down pretty hard. Okay, but you're rounding the corner one more first. Drop, break, drive, line. See how much power he's getting off the break step? Because he's stopping himself on this drop step. Drop, sink your hips. Look how low he is. Break violently. He's gaining ground. Drive, line. Now I'm friendly. You're just adding an extra step on a 10 to 12 yard dig. And you can see his boy laughing because this shit is crazy. Boom, get out. That's money right there. All right. On a go, is a speed release better or more of a patient release? James, I can't answer that for you. I need to know how the DB is playing, how you set things up. Okay, it's all very different. All right, curls and comebacks now. We can just go through the whole shit right here. Curls and comebacks. Let's talk about the false accelerate. Let's talk about how to run a curl and comeback. Where's my boy Richie James? Okay, here's the greatest comeback ever run in the history of mankind that I've ever seen. The single greatest comeback I've ever seen. Here's how you get in and out of a comeback. Snap, 1, 2. Okay, that trigger step, that violent trigger step. In the cut, should my head be in front of my knees and my knees in front of my toes? This is how you should look in the cut. Watch how he's sinking his hips. His chest is over his toes. That is perfect body mechanics. Everything is right underneath me. Okay, the key on a trigger step, okay? This is why we call this false accelerate. What does that body language tell you? That body language tells you that he's running by you. Right? Look at that. All he's doing is lunging forward. He's snapping down to this. Nothing tells you that you're slowing down. It looks like you're accelerating, but really what you're doing is stopping yourself. It looks like you're snapping into that. You're sinking your hips. You're running through it. Look at the DB reacts so late. He doesn't know you're stopping until you've already stopped. Look how beautiful of a picture this is. He doesn't know you're stopping until you've already stopped. Right? Because his body language right here is telling you that I'm getting low to lower. I'm aggressively attacking the ground. The DB is saying, oh shit, he's running even faster. But no, here he is sinking his hips, snap, 1, 2, and he's out. I mean, I never seen some shit so beautiful. I have never seen a route so perfectly executed. Bah, get out. Stop it on a dime. Full momentum, vertical. You just look. And the key to this too, he doesn't kill him at the line of scrimmage. He takes a shitty release because he knows I'm going to win at the top. He knows that he wants his guy running with him and he's going to win at the top. He doesn't want to beat him at the line of scrimmage where it's just going to cause problems. You don't want to beat him at the line of scrimmage. Shitty release. Take a shitty release. Just come run with me and think that you're in a good position. Yeah, come run with me. See ya. Boom. That's fucking having a plan right there. Knowing from the release that I want to take a shitty release, that my break point's going to be so good at the top, and now the trigger step, the false accelerate, low to lower. That's how you get in and out of a curl and a comeback. All right, we can talk about a curl route now. All right, here's Mo, kind of a shitty film angle, but here's a good example of the curl route. Okay, again, watch this. Shitty film, like I said, but watch his false accelerate. Again, everything is telling me that I'm running vertical. Okay, I'm snapping down. All right, it's telling me that I'm running vertical. I'm snapping down. Commit to it. Snap. 1, 2. Now come running out of it. Watch him come running downhill. All right, you're going to see this when it speeds it up. He's going to come running through this, come running downhill. Snap. Turn your hips right there. Come running downhill. Come running out of it. And he's running out of that bitch towards the football. All right, so same footwork on a curl and a comeback. Snap 1, 2. All right, that's what you want there. Here's another good one. Here's another false accelerate from Mo. Okay? Snap. 1, 2. Now this one's more of a stop route, all right, but he's not driving back to it, but he's still using the same thing just to stop himself. Watch him get low. Snap. 1, 2. And again, you're attacking that trigger step. So your body language, it's telling the DB that you're accelerating. It's a false accelerate. He thinks you're running by him, and it's snap 1, 2. It's pretty good right there. All right, what else we got? All right. So in the cut, I think I answered that question, Joppa. Love the snap down. This worked for if the DB has inside leverage. Yeah, so if you're running a curl, Jake, and you got inside leverage, the snap down still works. You just have to add a throw by. Okay, you just have to like snap down. As you snap down, you get your hand on the small of his back and just push him by you a little bit. Use the momentum against him. James asked for filming the diamond release. Let's pull the diamond release up. Man, this is actually, again, like I said, this is the first time we've done this, and this shit is mad fun showing you guys film. I don't have to deal with all the buffoonery of the real bean talk, where all these ridiculous ass questions. Same for a dig. We just went over the breakpoint for a dig. Oh, same for a dig if he's inside leverage. So yes, for a dig, there are two things. So let me pull up the dig first. James, make sure I pull up the diamond release. All right, if you're still watching, James. So for a dig, let me show you the other thing that you can do. So yes, you can throw by on a dig, but you can also use the inset. So let's talk about the throw by real quick first. Okay, maybe I can find that Mike Thomas clip. That's not the one. Mike Thomas throw by dig. So here's one for the dig. Okay, here's how to throw by on a dig. In the direction you want to go. It was a little different, but he kind of throws him by to get into his blind spot. But if he's running even on your inside hip, on your other hip, you know what I'm saying? You can just throw your other hand, just push him by you. That's what you want to create, is that little use momentum against you. And if it's so fast and rapid like this, very rarely will it be called. So this is a pretty good example. This is a great job of him being in the direction you want to go. But let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about the insets. All right. So now the inset is you using a hip shift at the top. All right. This is a real good one. So now let's talk about this. Okay. Now if he's in the direction I want to go, right? Let's say he's trailing right here. What are you gonna do at the top? You're just gonna give this little hip shift. Right, just give this little hip shift, pop, pop, and that's how you went over the top of this. Okay, definitely be aggressive. Oh yeah, Eddie, I got that one versus Rhodes. You're right. But anyway, so here's the other thing: if he's trailing you in the direction you want to go, okay, use this hip shift, use this inset at the top. All right, right here, that little pop, pop hip shift, that little on your insteps. All right, that's a really good way to win. Good little head and shoulder fake. Okay, here's the other. Let me show you a few others. So here's one by Tay. All right, I just showed this one recently on the main page. Okay, but again, right, you're running a dig or an out. He's in the direction you want to go, so he's going to give this little head and shoulder fake at the top on your insteps, right? Low to lower, pushing off the. Look how he's pushing off the inside part of his foot. Watch his hips go one way. Okay, and the DB's looking. If you give that left foot pressure step, the DB knows you're breaking right. So you got to go left first to get his momentum to go there. Left, right, and then pull underneath. All right, everyone see that? Let me pull up that Mike Thomas throw by. Pull up the Mike Thomas throw by real quick. Mike Thomas throw by. This was the one. All right, so here we go. Still pretty much the same situation, though. He's outside leverage. All right, he's outside leverage. He uses this one where he kind of pushes his again, pushes him upfield, gets into his blind spot, similar technique. Oh, you know what? Where's Xavier Ubasi? I've got just a library of shit in my head, so it'll come out eventually. Here's the one. It's my boy X. Yo, if Jawan's watching, I wonder what X is doing right now, bro. All right, so you ready? In the direction you want to go, throw him by at the top. That's a good one. All right, so watch this shit. In the direction you want to go, burst vertical. Okay, he does a great job right here, just bursting vertical, self-fade. He's taking away your inside, self-fade, and then boom, sink your hips and throw him by. That's the fucking one right there. Sink your hips, use momentum against him, and throw him by. Boom, throw him by, taking his hands off you. That's a fucking great one. All right, hey, it's been about a half hour. I got to go pretty soon. I'm going to talk about the coverage triangle quick, and then we're done here. I appreciate you guys. All right, real quick, let me set up the coverage triangle. If you guys got any questions that don't require a film, you can ask me right now. I'm trying to set this up. Any questions about the program, give me 2 seconds. We'll talk about coverages real quick, and then we're out, man. All right. How's everyone's day going? Good. Coverages and defense. All right, so here's a few things we can talk about. Yeah, this is pretty dope, guys. This is about as much as I've enjoyed a bean talk or anything in a long time. This is pretty cool. All right, let's see what the fuck we got here. I don't know what this is going to be. I have no idea what this is going to be, but, you know, we'll fuck around and see what happens. All right, so let's talk about coverage triangles, okay? This is us. This is me at Rutgers playing Ohio State back in the day. All right, so what the fuck? All right, so let's look at coverage triangles, and let's talk about some indicators here as to what we think the coverage is going to be. Okay, so what do we see here, right? Let's see it play out first. Let's see if I know what's coming. All right, exactly. So what do we see here? Okay, how do we know? So what does it end up being? This ends up being, okay, a corner cap blitz, all right, to the boundary. What's the indicator of that? It's the width of the safety, okay, the width of the safety combined with the inside leverage of the corner to tell you, and everybody being bumped over a little bit. This actually isn't a great example to talk off of. But, okay, so in general, right, if you watch the way they play, it's 3-by-1 right here, okay? You got the fullback, you got the fullback here, you have 2 slot receivers here, okay? So you got 3 guys here. So generally, if you're playing some sort of too high coverage, okay, you want to push this guy to the field a little bit, this boundary safety. All right, now this is Leonte Carew, who's our best player, okay, and one of the best receivers in the country. So maybe, you know, they're going to double him. But if you're going to double him, you don't want to play inside leverage with inside help right here, right? That's a big indicator. Why is this guy so wide giving you help here with this guy inside leverage? That tells you something's up. Okay, so these are the kind of indicators you're looking for in the coverage triangle. But it comes from first study. The only way you know that something's up is if I've studied Ohio State over and over and know that their too high looks have this corner outside shade, not inside shade. Okay, now to the field. All right, how do you know this is going to be quarters coverage? Or some sort of one high kind of loose bail coverage. All right, it's because of where this outside linebacker is. All right, he's head up. He's head up on this outside receiver, right? If he was playing, they were playing cover 2 here. Okay, it looks like too high, right? Too high coverage. If they were playing cover 2 right here, all right, what would his job be? This guy right here. His job would be to wall this guy off and take away the inside. Can he take away the inside from this leverage? No, he can't. Right? He can't take away the inside from this leverage. So that tells you that, okay, he's head up to outside leverage here. He might be a flat player. His job might be to take away the flat, and this guy's job is to wall guys off in cover 4. All right, if it was cover 2 and his job was to wall him off, he'd have to be sitting a good 2 yards inside to make sure he doesn't get inside, and this guy would be wider, and the corner would be further outside. Okay, but you've got a linebacker who's wider than the safety here. Okay, he's wider than the safety. That's a huge indicator of cover 4 because this safety right here wants to stay inside leverage in quarters at all times. He wants to play this number 2 guy inside out. Okay, his job is to get underneath anything to the flat, and this guy's basically playing man to man in the way Ohio State plays their quarters coverage, basically playing man to man. All right, let's talk about the next one real quick. All right, so here's a decent one, okay? Talk about the coverage triangle. All right, pre-snap, okay? Pre-snap, here's what you got. We motion all the way out, okay? Just right before the motion, let's stay right here. We motion out. Again, outside linebacker, okay, is head up leverage. about on number 2, okay? Tells you that, and he's loose coverage, and this guy's all the way inside. Again, you have an outside linebacker in a too high look who's outside the safety. That's a big indicator that it's cover 4 and not cover 2. Okay, now when you get down here, okay, now you're thinking, is it 2 or is it 4? All right, but is it 2 or is it 4? Okay, but this guy's pushed pretty far off. I mean, maybe they could play some sort of trap cover 2, right? Like maybe they could trap this guy down. For us, based on film study, we knew that Army doesn't play this kind of trap coverage. We knew that Army, when they show this loose coverage look, inside leverage corner, safeties is tucked in towards the hash, we knew right away that was cover 4, loose coverage. And then now the next thing you're looking for is, where's this flat defender at? Is this going to be a one-on-one matchup out here? Okay, is this going to be a one-on-one matchup out there, or is this guy a factor? If he was wider, you might be afraid of him getting underneath this. But he's so far inside, you know it's loose coverage. We're taking that speed out right away. And you as the receiver should know that you're getting the ball right away, because you know you're the first read versus loose coverage. All you got to do is push your depth and run that shit, and you can be decisive. All right, empty. Okay, here's a great indicator of what the coverages are. Again, right? So let's talk about what we just learned. What do we have here to both sides to determine what the coverages are? Okay? Right, to the field. To the field, we have a really heavy outside leverage linebacker. He's head up leverage all the way here on the hash. Right? He's head up. What's his only job? His only job can be to play the flat defender. There's no way in the world. You know how easy it is to steal an inside release and take, if this is cover 2, okay, if this was cover 2, his job is to play the flat, his job is to play, okay, this safety's job right here is to get outside. Is he gonna be able to play a fade ball right here from all the way inside? No shot in hell. Okay, no way this can be cover 2. Plus, it's a 3x2 formation. It's empty, right? So he's going to be the flat defender. This guy is going to read 2 and 3 because it's quarters versus 3x1. He's got to play in the middle of 2 and 3. Okay, he's playing number 1 basically man-to-man. What this basically becomes is trap 2. This becomes almost more like cover 2 on these inside guys. All right, it's kind of a complicated coverage. But it's almost like these 3 in your coverage triangle play a version of cover 2 on 1 and 2, and they just forget about number 1 here. Okay, they just let number 1 go out here because this guy's going to play him like loose man to man, and they're just going to say, hey, throw a field hitch all day. Field hitches are tough to disguise, okay? Or field hitches are tough to throw and tough to make a living off of. All right, but now to the boundary, what do you got? You got a low outside leverage corner. This safety's getting a little bit more width. All right, that up top to the boundary, they're playing what Jap is talking about. They're playing 2 read. Okay, how do you know it's 2 read? Look how far tucked in that linebacker is. Okay? He's not getting underneath the flat right there. This linebacker right here is not getting underneath the flat. He's already out leveraged. You see what I'm saying? He's already out leveraged by number 2. He's not a flat player. This guy's the flat player. He's reading it. He's playing 2 read. Okay? But yeah, no, I mean, like, listen, so Jap is saying, I hope we can learn the difference between 2 read and all this stuff. Like, you don't need to know the difference between 2 read and 2 and 4 for some universal answers. All right, and hopefully you guys got a little bit out of that. I'll have something a little more polished for the coverage triangle stuff. All right, but here's the last thing I'll leave you with is, like, you're not coming to a game having to know some universal indicators for what is cover 2, what is 2 read, what is 4. You got to study film. All right, you got to study film. Hey, so we'll do, Joppa was saying it'd be great to have more of these. We'll do these once a week, bro. We'll do these VIP talks once a week for sure. But anyway. The way you identify coverages is off your film study, right? Once you've watched 400 reps of the opponent or 100 reps of the opponent or whatever, like, you know what their coverages are. They only got 3 or 4 or 5. You're not guessing between 100 coverages. Very few teams run 4, 2, and very few teams run cover 4, run cover 2, and run 2 read, right? They usually have a philosophy where they pick one. You don't need 3 different 2 high coverages. Okay, so generally you're going into a week and their 2 high coverage is this. Okay, then their 1 high coverage is this. Like, you're simplifying it based on film study. So you don't have to get so caught up in, like, what are these overall indicators? It's what are the indicators for this week. You have to determine, like, all you guys have to learn is what are the defender's jobs. If it's cover 2, what's his job? Ask yourself, can he do his job from this position? If he's all the way outside leverage, no, he can't. Okay, if it's cover 4, what's his job? He's a flat defender. Can he do his job from this position? Like, that's the indicators you got to ask yourself. All right, if I think they're going to roll to a 1 high coverage, okay, and they're going to roll late on the snap, for this safety to play the post, he cannot be all the way outside the hash. There's no way. He'll never get there. Okay, so an indicator is that this safety is rolling, he's going to start to creep inside the hash. And it's not that complicated. You just have to hone in to studying them and finding them during the week, right? You have to do the work early where your coaches are breaking down everything by coverage. You can watch all the cover 3 clips in a row. And when you watch 100 cover 3 clips in a row, then you know, wow, this is what their coverage 3 looks like. 85 out of 100 clips, the safety was aligned here and the linebacker was here. Now that's an indicator. 85 out of 100 is a pretty strong fucking indicator. You can bet the bank that's going to happen. And if they get you on that 15%, then they get you. You have a counter plan for that, for the small 15%. Okay? But same thing if it's whatever, if it's cover 2. If you don't know if it's 2 or 4, right? When you watch 100 clips of cover 4, you study where the safety aligns. I guarantee you he aligns in a different place in cover 4 than he does in cover 2. It'll probably be a little bit wider in cover 2. Okay? But it's about studying that first. That's why it's so hard on Instagram to talk to you guys about film study, because you guys got to fucking study the opponents you're playing. I can give you general indicators. Like, I think we learned something today, right? That if you see the outside linebacker very far outside of the safety and a too high look, it's probably quarters, because it's pretty hard to be a wall player here and a deep half player there if our alignments are like this. We'd have to be switched if we want to do that. All right, so there's something that probably helps you today, a big indicator between 2 or 4. But otherwise, like, I'm going to keep working through it, making content for you guys and doing these talks. But you guys have to study the opponents and find the specific indicators each week. Like, Penn State teaches their quarters different than Ohio State, different than Michigan State. So every week there were different indicators for us. And I just kind of know what the rules are for the defense, right? The way I determine what the coverage is by knowing what the defender's rules are. If he's a flat defender, is he playing the flat? If he's a wall player, is he walling him off? If he's the force player, is he forcing the ball back inside, right? Like, if you're cover 2, you're the force player. That means that your job on the run game is to contain the edge and not let anything outside of you. So if you're trying to determine, is it cover 4 or cover 2, watch all the run plays and see how the corner reacts. Like, does that make sense? So this is what the type of shit I'm saying. Like, those are the things you need to do. That's how you study film, essentially. And we'll keep doing it, and I'll give you guys some projects. I'm going to make some like this cut up I just had, right? That we were just watching some of. I'll email that to you guys and make you respond with what coverage it is. Like, we'll have some tests and stuff. But anyway, to recap before I go, right? We're going to go from, I'm finishing the evaluations. Then we're going to go to, finishing the evaluations. Then we're going to go to breakpoints. Then we're going to go to coverages, and we're going to go to releases. All right. So that's kind of the step by step. As always, DM me if you need me. Love you guys. Peace.